This is Cowboy Jim with AAA Painting and Handyman Services. We're in Fort Collins, Colorado, and again kind of doing some update video here of the work we've done. You see, walking up to the home here, we put in a nice brand new door which will later be painted. We will get this before painting on the exterior. We'll get this all recaulked, resealed. We had to kind of refix some headers up here, which we're going to kind of retro in some work to make that work well. We had to actually cut off their little trim piece here, which we kept to the side, so we made sure we had those pieces to kind of go back up there and make that all look nice again once we get done with this. But that's more for the exterior. We've rekeyed the locks on this unit and the one in the back to be exactly the same key for each one, and we put nice little key tags on them for the customers so they can see which key goes where. I'm carrying the spares in my pocket just in case somebody gets stupid and loses a key or forgets the lockbox code. So again, we're going to just kind of show this door from the inside. This was kind of my door from hell that we put in. This thing just fought us and fought us. At first it looked like it was going to go in right, and then it just became a problem trying to get the reveals right and the inset right and all that. And we're still going to have to come in for interior trim here. We've started to do it on other doors, and we're going to have to do what they call kind of a jam extension, putting a 1x2 in there, cutting some of the drywall back so we can, make that trim piece eventually fit nice there. We haven't quite gotten around to casing and so forth around the windows yet. It's kind of one of our next steps. We wanted to get to making sure we got all the doggone doors finished today. And again, this is just another prime example of one that kind of fought us. It wasn't exactly meant to be here from the original, build of the home, but we made it look nice, and it will look even nicer once we go through the detail of caulking up all our holes and getting all the seams caulked and, painting this in a nice bright white trim, and then we'll fix that guy as well. That will probably end up being the wall color at some point here up above where there's this old header that they had in there. Again, here we have a back door, and you can see that's completely trimmed out. We did a 1/4 inch overlap or reveal on the edge here, so you can see it's just kind of tucked over the edge just a little bit. And then on down, of course, we've got all that fixed up. And again, this is probably a good example here. We'll open this door up. This is where we had to kind of put in that jam extension. So we had to kind of work with this guy a little bit. It's not the prettiest right now just because we're going to have to, get that all caulked up and sealed so it looks a little bit more seamless, kind of makes it look like it was meant to happen there. But we had to just kind of doctor that guy a little bit to make that extension look good, and we had to do the same on this side. And give just enough reveal, to the actual frame, and then put your trim on. And of course the same to the top there. You can see where we just had to extend that all out to make that match up with the drywall, etc. You'll see the plumber's been here today, and they did pull out some of the plumbing here. We're about ready to drywall that up. My drywaller has been here today, and he's done quite a few things. Might be a little hard to see on this video, but he kind of did some retexturing and some fixing on this area. Put some coats of mud on there. Oh, here you go. Here's another frame out that we did. And again, we're going to take all that and prime and, sand, prime, and paint basically on this guy here. So we'll get that all looking good. But in here, he started to do some work. You'll see my big D on the wall. That means that's supposed to be drywall and or drywall repair. And they're gonna work more on this, making that wall looks better. They're just kind of put a quick coat of mud where it needed to go. And walk back and back. We started to get ready to do baseboards today, but unfortunately that front door, we had to go back and play with that some more. And that just took more time than we expected. We put a new bathroom door on here. The original bathroom door was supposed to go back here, but it didn't make any sense. Our customer here is actually going to be putting a stackable washer and dryer to the left of this frame here, and we're going to get that drywall looking nice in there too, or at least nice enough, to put a stack in there. But we've got all the measurements and dimensions, and over here we're going to end up putting in these nice melamine shelves. I bought 4 shelves, which weren't too expensive. I think they were about $8 or $9 a piece, and we'll cut those to size, and then we'll put some nice trim framing around there, and that'll all be painted in to match the closet, so it'll all look like it belonged there to begin with. I'm probably going to make those shelves. I like to personally keep them to where they're, somewhat detached. So in case anybody ever has to move a shelf to get something bigger in there. A lot of contractors, they like to nail them in and caulk them in and make them all seamless, but I'm going to kind of make a management decision not to do that here, because you just never know what somebody's going to put in that closet. Hopefully not a small child, but anyway, that's my humor. But again, you'll see this door here. This is completely trimmed out now. And again, we'll just have to caulk up some seams and make that look nice. And again, just a prime example. Nice closing, nice straight reveals we have. And we leave enough room in here because when you go to paint the door and you paint the trim, you're going to end up with a thicker surface, and you may have a real problem if you don't put enough of a reveal in there to make sure you leave room for, roughly that 32nd or 16th of an inch of thickness that you're going to put in with painting. So we started to do this guy here, but this is kind of where I got kind of pulled away to make a low shopping trip. So I decided, well, I'm going to just hold off a little bit on this before I finish it, because there's some ways I want that to look, so it's up to specs for what the customer wants. But you'll get the general idea. It's going to be something similar, and we'll have a sill in there. We've actually sealed up a door here. This door used to take us into the second unit of the duplex, which was very odd. It was almost like living in a hotel, but I'm sure back in the 60s when they built this, there was a reason for that. I'm not sure what it was. Might have been like a mom and dad live in one part and the adult kids live in the other part, and that might have been the situation. But we framed out this closet, and eventually we're going to be putting in these bifold doors here. And I had to yell at my drywaller today. He got mud all over this sucker, but I think he cleaned it up pretty good. We'll have to make sure it's clean before we paint them. But I put these shelf inserts in here. I just happen to have these laying around. They were from another account where we demoed some stuff in their place, and I kept the shelving all these years, and so we put them in as verticals because there was originally this stuff here, this nastiness. So I decided, not to use those and just to use those, and I'll just prime the corners. Looks like there's a label. I'll pull the label off there and just paint that all nice and neat. And again, when we leave those as removable shelves or partition, that way people can put stuff. But I actually kind of like that look. I think it's pretty cool, and maybe if we have enough material left over, we might do that in one of the other closets. And I think it's kind of a neat idea. Again, we've got another door frame here, and this is all trimmed out. And we've got this pretty well done. And again, we just haven't gotten to the baseboard yet, but we will get to that here by tomorrow. We hope tomorrow would be an awesome day for us. We were done fighting with doors and some of the what I call fixing stupid methods of things. So it should be a relatively quicker day tomorrow, and we should be able to get this entire unit ready for painting. And of course, there's bathroom folks coming in here to redo the bathroom. I actually got the plumber to put us a toilet back in there today. That was kind of nice, instead of having to go out in the bushes. So in any case, I'm in the front unit here. I'll do just kind of a quick walkthrough of the, oops. All right, we locked that door, so I'm probably going to want to lock this door here. And we'll lock that up and come around this guy. Oh yeah, there's all that plumbing that got pulled out of there. Pretty stuff. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. So, actually it's probably all copper. It's probably worth something. So, we'll go back around to the back unit here. You'll see where we try to stay neat. We've got our ladders and things like that set out, but we just try to keep it to a low footprint as much as possible. This is, I think, from the plumbers. They left a little hand truck here today. And again, you'll see the back door we've installed. And again, that's all pretty. We haven't gotten to any of the trim in this unit yet. Something kind of interesting happened here. This is another one of these closets. It wasn't really meant to be with a closet door like this. It was really bifold doors. So I actually had to cut out some of this drywall. It's the weirdest thing, you know, they make a 32-inch door, they make a 36-inch door, but they don't make a 34. Had they had a 34, I would have had no problem with this door, but I actually had to kind of cut that out a little bit, redo the stud work in there, get that to set right. And what I'm going to do here, I'm either just going to caulk that and paint that, make that look nice, and we'll have wall paint here, caulk there, paint the trim, or I've got this other little cute little piece that I found today for like $3. And I'm thinking about putting that on there and see what that looks like. I think it'll be kind of a nice little extra feature. It makes this unit just slightly different than the front unit. And we're going to have a little issue here where, you know, I had to cut out the drywall. So I got a nice big hole here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some quarter round up in there on both sides of that actually, and make that look better. And of course that's all going to be covered up at the top there with trim work, and we'll put, you know, casing around this side so we won't see that ugly drywall there. Whoops. There we go. Now again, you know, see the other door, just to show our handiwork. And like on this guy here, it was a little different. We had to do a little engineering. You know, I had to actually build this out a little bit. I put a 1x6 in here to make this framework better. You would have thought these all would have been the same dimensions, but whoever framed this house originally, I guess they had a bad measuring tape, had an extra couple of inches on it for some reason. It should have been identical to the front, but it's not. So we had to kind of play with that and make that happen. So again, you'll see all the kitchen has been demoed, all the linoleum was pulled off. It had this glue, unfortunately, you know, that just got stuck on the floor. And boy, we tried even using a belt sander to get that stuff off. It just doesn't come, not really. So I think once, you know, underlayment, everything is put in for, or the hardy backer, I should say, for the tile, that should cover up nicely. Shouldn't be an issue. And we're going to go back through this way. Excuse me, Warren. Again, we're just showing another framed out door here that we did for this bathroom. And originally this is where this bathroom door was. So this one actually, I have to say, of all the doors, this one in like the easiest. This probably took us like, I don't know, 20 minutes. It was pretty easy once we got it in shape there. But we actually had to cut every door in this house out. So again, I think back in the 60s, people were shorter. That's my theory, I guess. I don't think the wood floor had anything to do with it here, but so every one of these doors had to be cut, not just the door, but the frames. And you know, had we had the time on this job, we would have custom ordered doors and got them exactly right. But it's not a big deal. Cutting them is kind of part of the game sometimes when you do contracting. And again, that's just showing the other door. And now we're into that last bedroom, and you'll see our drywall that was redone here. We fixed the hole where the door was, and again, that's going to all be retextured here in the next couple of days. Unfortunately, you'll see that mud's pretty wet right now, and when we get here in the morning, we're probably going to throw fans on it. It's been so humid here still in Colorado. Even when we open up the windows, we're not getting enough air in here. So we'll probably put some fans on it, try to help the drywallers out so they can get that retextured and make that look nice. So once again, we're in a very long video here, but this is Cowboy Jim, AAA Painting and Handyman Services.